Hey everyone, welcome back to Small Bites here on YouTube. Today we are continuing our series on positive psychology. I'm Monique Champagne. I'm a therapist here with The Gracious Mind, and every week we host a video here on YouTube. And then on Wednesdays at 12 Central Standard Time, meet us over on Instagram Live to chat with us and learn more about this topic. Today we're continuing our positive psychology series. We've talked about flow, we've talked about strengths, and today we're going to talk about values. When we talk about positive psychology, we're talking about using the resource that we all have carrying around with us in our bodies every day, which is our brain. We use the scientific research to understand how our brain shapes the way we see our world, and we've been looking at it from a strengths-based perspective, and today we're going to delve a little bit more into that, specifically with what we call acceptance and commitment therapy, so ACT. One thing we know about our brains is that as we move through the world, we are paying attention to certain stimuli that we see around us. Our brain keeps us protected by paying attention to things that could be threats to us. And so what positive psychology encourages us to do is be mindful of what we're giving our attention to. Energy flows where attention goes. You may have heard that phrase before. And what that basically means is if we're moving through the world focusing only on our threats and the things that are dangerous to us, then that's where our energy is going to go. Neurologically, we are firing all of our neurons in terms of keeping ourselves safe. And then when we're able to transfer that attention to something else, we can navigate our world a little bit differently. So as you move through this week, I want you to start paying attention to what you're paying attention to. Be mindful of the thoughts that are coming in and the way that your body's reacting to the stimulus around you. Something else I want to bring in from the world of psychology is this idea of confirmation bias. So our brains do lots of things to help keep us safe, and also it does some things on its own on autopilot without us being mindful of it. And so one of those things is confirmation bias, which is this idea that we believe things about the world. For example, the world is a scary place. And then when we hold that idea in our minds, what we see out in the world will confirm what we believe. So this information that we see out in the world, we're using it to kind of confirm what we already believe, and it may or may not be true. So another activity for you this week as you're moving through the world is to try to understand and pull your attention towards the things that you believe about the world, and if you're open to ideas that may contradict your beliefs. When we talk about positive psychology, it's not this idea of just be happy. What's wrong with you? Be happy. We've heard these things said to us out in the world, and it's really not helpful. What positive psychology is trying to say is that we can utilize this brain that we have to kind of tap into these happy chemicals. Some examples of that are serotonin and oxytocin and dopamine. Oxytocin is the chemical that allows us to connect with others and to feel safe and secure. So when you think about looking into a puppy dog's eyes or a baby's eyes, oh my gosh, they're so cute and big and joyful. What your brain is doing is actually sending you those happy chemicals of oxytocin. So when we're able to integrate activities into our life that brings those happy chemicals into our brains, we're actually shifting the way that we're interacting and seeing the world. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about acceptance and commitment therapy. So ACT is often used in therapy as a specific approach to allow individuals to experience their experiences, to tap into their feelings and their thoughts with a non-judgmental approach. From this theoretical orientation, we see that people are, as humans, going through the world and experiencing pain. From this psychological approach, we understand that humans experience pain and that that's normal. What we normally do is we'll look at our thoughts and we judge them and we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm having this reaction to a thing. And so what ACT does is working through mindfulness and awareness. It helps us kind of connect with those feelings and allow them to just be. You are not damaged when you have thoughts like that. You are not flawed. You are human and you're going through the world, navigating the best you can, and your brain is doing what it's supposed to do and keeping you protected. And so looking at your own experiences through this approach, I encourage you to ask yourself, how do you experience pain? How do you experience suffering in the world? So when you look at yourself through this lens, I want you to consider how you experience and judge your life experiences of pain and suffering. The goal of ACT is to allow yourself to just experience and sit with those feelings. So something that I want to emphasize in today's video is the idea of exploring and clarifying your own personal values. So like we did with the strengths video, I'm now going to give you a long list of values, and then I want you to take your journal out or take out a piece of paper and write down some of the things that kind of stand out to you as important to you in your life. Authenticity, balance, compassion, community, financial security, fun, honesty, justice, learning, pleasure, success, wealth, wisdom. Now I'm going to give you 3 ways to use the words that you've written down on your paper to do some more exploration. So for this first one, you need to start out with at least 10 values. If you don't have 10 from the list, I encourage you to do some more exploration and find at least 10 things that you find are important in life. You can think of values as your compass. As you're moving through life, the things that are important to you are going to guide how you interact with the world, how you speak with other people, and the decisions that you make. So you've got your top 10 in front of you. And then what I want you to do is take some time to think about what top 5 of those 10 are most important to you, and then circle those. Now that you've got your top 5, I want you to narrow it down even more and circle your top 3. This may be easy for you, this may be a challenge, so give yourself some time to really consider what these values mean to you, where they came from, how they might have changed over time. Now you have your top 3 values, and you can put your attention in those areas and be mindful of where you're implementing those in your life. The last thing I want you to do is take each of those top 10 values that you listed earlier and think about which of those were passed down to you. When you look at your family experience growing up, you may notice that some values were given to you without you really having a choice about whether you wanted those values, whether those things were really important to you. Did your family value community or financial stability? Did your family value hard work or having fun? Or both. So values can help you be deliberate about where you put your attention. For some extra credit, I want you to take your journal and go ahead and do some writing, some free writing about these values and then this activity. If you want to explore these topics a little bit more, feel free to ask friends and family what their values are and to see how they align with yours. Be mindful that other people may have values that are different than yours. So this is a really cool exploration activity. Be sure to join us on Wednesday for our Small Bites Live, where Karen will be talking about this topic of values. And we look forward to hearing what you have to say and your thoughts on this topic. Join us next week. We'll see you later.